What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close. Excuse me, and we are now 192 subs away from hitting 500 subs. Guys, we are getting so close to 500 subs. Hopefully we can get to 500 subs by the end of the year. Let's find out if we can. But if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, excuse me, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. Which championship title change was your all-time favorite from WrestleMania weekend? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, we actually have something very insane for you guys. It's been a minute since we have taken a dive back into the set Duelist Advance, and we have been revealed some new free agent cards, and several other new cards have also been added to the booster set. So I'm not gonna waste any time because there's a lot of cards to talk about. So let us get straight into it. Unfortunately, because of the little SEU that was posted on YG organization, unfortunately the artworks have not been revealed, unfortunately, but it's all good. So kicking things off, we've got Leo Wizard the Dark Fiend, which unfortunately does not say what its attack and defense stats are. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it doesn't show, but I'm assuming that it could be a 4-star, perhaps. We'll see. But the effects read as followed: If a player would normal summon a monster whose original level is 4 or lower with more than 1350 attack or defense from their hand, they must tribute summon it by tributing a monster. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a light monster, you can destroy that monster. If this card is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can add a monster with 1350 attack from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect, you can only use this effect once per turn. So this is basically Catastor on steroids. This is actually a much more better version of Catastor because with Catastor, all it does, it just pops a monster that's dark. Pretty much. Where as opposed to this card, this is basically Catastor with a Rhoda effect. So this is kind of like your Rhoda Catastor, which is actually kind of sick, and it also forces the opponent to tribute away monsters in order to summon certain monsters. So for example, let's say excuse me, so let's say for example, the opponent chooses to normal summon a Magician's Rod. Let's say that for example. If they end up having a card like, say, Dark Magician, but they don't have any way to bring the card back aside from the rod, they literally have to tribute Dark Magician to summon out Magician's Rod. So it basically forces the opponent to make a choice of either committing to the summon or not even do anything at all, which can ultimately force the opponent to scoop, which is not bad. But the only downside is that it is a bit conditional with its second effect, because because the deck needs to battle a light based deck. So Blue Eyes is probably going to be like one of the more consistent decks that this will be up against at some point. But that's just my opinion. I think it's a bit too conditional, but it's still pretty good in my honest opinion. Next up, we've got a Spirit Hunter, which is a continuous trap, and the effects read as follows. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can activate one of these effects. Place one monster from your deck in your spell trap zone as a face-up continuous spell. Your opponent can special summon a monster card with less original attack than their life points from your spell trap zone to their field. Then they pay life points equal to its original attack. Second effect reads: if an effect monster you own is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can send this face-up card from the back row to the grave and special summon a level 4 monster from your deck. So, yeah, Snake Eye is going to abuse the living shit out of this card. Not much else to say about that, because with Snake Eye's Flamberg Dragon, it literally takes monsters from the deck and puts them into your back row face up, and you're also able to use Dragon's Effect to move it from the back row to the front lines, which is actually kind of crazy. So for this card to be a part of that deck is absolutely insane. And I feel like with the ban list that we had just gotten, what was it, like maybe a week, like couple weeks ago or something. I feel like that Konami had fumbled that ban list completely because of the fact that if Snake Eyes Flamberg Dragon had gotten hit, the deck would have just died right then and there, right off the bat. That's just my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but that is my honest opinion. Next up, we've got Wake Cup Mocha. Try saying that 20 times fast. Wake Cup Mocha. That is the actual card name, which is very funny. And it's a 3-star Wind Aqua Flip monster with 1,000 attack and 100 defense, and the effects read as follows. Once per turn during your end phase, you can change this card to face down defense. Can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can target a face down defense position monster on the field. Special summon this card from your hands, and if you do, change that monster to attack position. If this card is flipped face up, you can target a face up monster on the field. It gains 1,000 attack, but send it to the grave during the end phase. The weird thing is that with flip effect monsters, with flip monsters, there aren't a lot of good ones at this point. In fact, all the good ones are mostly the jar cards, such as Cyber Jar, Fiber Jar, Morphine Jar number 2, and interestingly enough, Fiber Jar has been banned for so long. In fact, I think it just came up off the ban list within the last like year and a half or something like that, if my memory serves. I need to take a look. I believe that is the case. Ban list. Let's see. Oh, okay, never mind. So Fiber Jar is still banned. I think it's just Cyber Jar. I think it's Cyber Jar, Morphine Jar, and Morphine Jar number 2 are the 3 cards that got taken off the list. That got taken off the list completely. And it's actually kind of crazy that's happened, because right now Morphing Jar is at 2. It's semi limited at 2, and then Cyber Jar has been taken off the list completely. It's now at 3. So, Empty Jar FTK, it's still up there. It's still up there on the table. I mean, who knows? Who knows? It's like not bad. Sure, yeah. Sure, it's a Cyber Dragon, but it's like, it's like it's basically really bad Cyber Dragon and a really bad Book of Moon, because the card has to be under certain conditions. So I don't think it's really good, at least in my opinion, anyway. Next up, we've got Link Slayer Ignister, which is a 5-star Dark Cyburst with 2,000 attack, 600 defense, and the effects read as followed. If a Cyburst monster you control would be used as Link material for an Ignister Link monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. If this card is sent to the grave as Link material, you can discard 1 card, target 1 spell or trap on the field, or you can target 2 of this card on the field was used as material, destroy those cards. You can only use each effect once per turn. It can either basically be an MST or a Twin Twister, which is not bad, and also being able to use this card as material for a Link summon in the hand is actually kind of a rare thing to see. Excuse me. I think mostly just because of the fact that you really don't see them often. There's only like maybe a couple cards in the format that can do that, but still, it's actually not too bad. The only downside is that if you want to summon it, you need. Oh my god, I know that there's a card in the format right now that can besides Saryuja, that can basically summon out this card without having to tribute anything. I just don't remember the name of it though, unfortunately. But next up we have Legend of Justice Kaiba Man, which is a 1-star Light Warrior tuner with 200 attack, 700 defense, and the effects read as follow. If this card is normal or special summon, you can show 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in your hand, deck, face-up field, and or grave. Then special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or grave. If you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card is in your grave, except during the damage step, you can banish this card, add a Blue Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Basically, it's literally Blue Eyes support, and it helps summoning. It helps make summoning Blue Eyes a lot easier. And this card is actually a lot better than the original Kaiba Man. And interestingly enough, even the original Kaiba Man was actually not too bad. You tribute it off and you summon Blue Eyes right off the bat. There's really nothing else to say about it. I will say though, I will say the more Blue Eyes cards we get, the more dangerous the Blue Eyes deck is going to be when it gets seen at the next YCS, which I don't know exactly when it's taking place. I really haven't looked at that all that much yet. I want to say Santiago, Chile, if I remember correctly. It's either that or Guadalajara. It's one or the other. I don't remember. Obviously you guys can let me know in the comments. But more Blue Eyes support means Blue Eyes will become very, very, very dangerous. But next up, I think I have this one. Where is that one? Where is that one? Here we are. So, So this was actually so the effect of this next card has been revealed, and it's known as First of the Dragon Lords, which is basically a retrain of the original First of the Dragons, which is a very old fusion card. Interestingly enough, 11-star Dark Dragon Fusion with 3,700 attack, 3,000 defense, and of course 3 normal monsters. Excuse me, and it says that it must be fusion summoned. And the third effect is a once per turn. First effect reads, you can only control one First of the Dragon Lords. Second effect reads, cannot be destroyed by battle, and it's unaffected by other monsters' effects. Third effect reads, once while face up on the field, when your spell or trap or effect is activated, as a quick effect, you can destroy all spells and traps on the field. This literally is Heavy Storm on steroids. Like, there's really like no there's really no denying it. This card is absolutely insane. Okay, so with Leo Wizard, I actually forgot that the artwork was revealed a long time ago, and I completely forgot. So there's Leo Wizard, and it's a 4-star Dark Spellcaster, 1350 attack, 1200 defense. So there's that. So honestly, that's actually kind of sick. I mean, it literally is protection and Heavy Storm. Not much else to say about that. I will say though, I think it's very, very, very cool that we're getting the Oh, here's the Link Slayer monster. I forgot. Here's the Link Slayer. So it seems like some of the cards did get released. Their artworks got released for some reason. I don't know what happened. Let's see if I can try and move this up. Alright, never mind. Unfortunately, I'm not able to. Okay, so moving on from that. So that's actually kind of cool that these cards have indeed been revealed. So at least some of them anyway. But next up, moving on. Next up is the Starham, 3-star Light Beast Synchro, 1,000 attack, 1,200 defense, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners. And the effects read as follows: If this card is synchro summon, you can discard one card, special summon a monster from your grave that was used as material for this card's synchro summon, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner. If this card is in your grave, you can discard 2 cards, special summon this card, but banish when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. This basically just ensures that you're able to go into a potential like 5-star monster, which if you summon out, if you go into a 1-star tuner and a 2-star non-tuner and you bring this guy out, you can literally bring back the non-tuner and go into a card like Catastor or Tech Genius Hyper Librarian, which even by now Hyper Librarian is actually kind of crazy. Next, which is actually kind of cool. Next up, we have Argo Stars, Courageous Arion, which I believe. Here is the card. I finally found it. It took me a second. So there's the card for the new Argo Stars card, And it's a rank 4 Dark Warrior Xyz with 2200 attack and defense, and it requires 2 level 4 monsters. And both of its effects are a once per turn. And it also says that once per turn, you can also Xyz summon this card by using an Argo Stars monster you control, transfer its materials to this card. So the first effect reads, if this card is Xyz summoned, you can add 1 Argo Stars spell from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads, during the standby phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card, place up to 3 Argo Stars contiguous traps from your grave, face up in your back row. This literally ensures that you can get out your Argo Stars floodgates and be able to just stop your opponent from doing anything, which is absolutely insane, absolutely incredible, absolutely insane. Not much else to say about that except holy shit, it is insane. Insane. It literally just, again, it literally ensures that your Argo Stars floodgates come back live, if you will, which is pretty cool. Not much else to say about that. I believe there's only a couple cards left. We have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 more cards to talk about here, so let us get down to it. Next up, we have Gaia Stream, the Grateful Force, which is a rank 6 Water Aqua Xyz with 0 attack and defense, and it requires 2 or more level 6 monsters. And the effects read as follows: once per turn, you can also Xyz summon this card by using 1 rank 5 or 7 Xyz monster you control. Transfer its materials to this card. Cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon the turn it was Xyz summoned. Cannot attack directly. Gains attack equal to the combined level or ranks of its attached materials times 200. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles, detach a material from this card. This is basically a game changer. So this reminds me in a way of oh my god, what's that one card? Oh my god, I literally was playing it on Master Duel in the Duel Triangle. Oh my god, it's the rank 4 heroic champion that basically gains attack. No, that's not number 62. That's what it reminds me of. This card reminds me in a way of number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, which that card is a fucking menace. That card is a menace. Absolutely insane. Being able to just give that card extra attack for the combined ranks of all the Xyz monsters on board. This card is basically that, but better. Not much else to say about that. Next up, we've got Ukano Mitsune no Onari, which I believe I talked about this card already. I think I talked about it already. 2-star, let's see here, Light Beast Link 2, 1500 attack, arrows are bottom and right, requires two light monsters including a beast. Your opponent cannot target cards in the field zone with card effects. You can only use each effect once per turn. If the card, let's see here, if the card is link summoned, you can target a quick play spell in your grave, set it. If this card is destroyed, you can choose the following effects up to the number of cards. Okay, so I did talk about this card in a previous video. So, you guys already know which one I'm talking about. Ukano Mitsune no Onari. I talked about that card in a future video, so we are going to move on. Next up, oh, right, I believe I have those cards. Here we are. Next up, we have Regenesis Pentateuch. Yes, Pentateuch, which is a normal spell, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: if you control a monster with 2,500 original attack or defense, target a card your opponent controls, or you can target two. If you control Regenesis Lord, banish those cards. Second effect reads: if this card is in your grave, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and special summon a monster with 2,500 attack or defense from your hand. So this literally ensures that you get to summon out a big guy right off the bat, and also this is basically sort of like your twin twister for but for either your back row, either for the opponent's back row or for their front lines, or you can hypothetically speaking mix and match, which is kind of crazy. This is actually probably one of the best spells we've seen in a while. Next up is Regenesis Commandments, which obviously, as you guys can see, is a normal trap, and the effect reads as followed: apply these effects to all cards your opponent controls in the same column as their Regenesis monsters. Face-up cards negate their effects. Face-down monsters cannot change their battle positions. Face-down back row cannot be activated until the end of the next turn. That's funny. There's a no underneath the card that card that says look up the 10 commandments. That's very funny. That is very, very funny. So being able to bring out a body, pop some cards, and just off of that spell, and with the normal trap just being able to just do pretty much just about everything is actually kind of insane. And I have a feeling that those two cards could be the cards that break the meta when this set gets released. Who knows? But next up we've got Sudden Thunderous Swamp, which is a continuous spell, and the effects read as follow: when this card is activated, you can discard one card, and if you do, set one continuous trap from your deck or grave with an effect that special summons itself as a monster, except the discarded card. Let's see here. If a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect with the same name from your deck to your hand, hold on. If a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the grave or banished face up, you can target one of them, add a card with the same name from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, and you can only activate one copy per turn. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, being able to literally bring out a metal reflex slime. Cards like Metal Reflex Slime, Tiki Peace, Tiki Curse, Tiki Soul, Zoma the Spirit, just to name a few. This card is definitely going to be a game changer when it gets released. Hang on, guys, I'll be right back. Something just came out. Alright, you guys, sorry about that. I am back. My grandfather woke up and handed me a check that I had to give to my gardener, so I do apologize for that. But let us move on. Next up, we've got Spring. Literally, that's what it's called, Spring, which, is a field spell, and it has 3 different effects. Let's see here. The first one reads, once per turn, you can choose any number of your unused main monster zones, and if you do, place that number of season counters on this card. Also, those zones cannot be used while this card is on the field. Second effect reads, monsters you control Gain 400 attack for each season counter on this card. Third effect reads: once per turn during your opponent's end phase, you can take a field spell from your deck that you can place a season counter on and place it face up on your field, but neither player can activate its effects this turn. And if you do, place all season counters on this card onto that card. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not bad. It's like kind of cracked. I mean, being able to just, you know, give your monsters 400 attack. That's not bad. It's a bit conditional because I don't really know what decks could potentially use the card, but we'll just have to wait and see. But we are now down to the final card, and it's known as Shipment Error, which is a normal trap, and the effect reads as follows: when a card or effect is activated that includes an effect that adds a card from the deck to the hand, the activated effect becomes your opponent takes a card from their deck for you to add to your hand, and you must keep that card revealed. During the end phase of this turn, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, draw one card. Okay, so for me, this is a bit confusing to me. I'm gonna try and read its effect one more time so I can have an understanding of what it does. Let's see here. When a card or effect is activated that includes an effect that adds a card from the deck to the hand. So basically, anytime a card gets activated that lets you search. So let's say Rhoda for example. The Rhoda effect becomes your opponent takes a card from their deck for you to add to your hand. So they have to give. Okay, I think I get it now. So let's say, for example, you activate let's say your opponent activates Rhoda. You can hypothetically speaking flip this card up and force the opponent to take a card from their deck, and instead of adding it to their hand, that one card, whatever it may be, gets added to your hand, and it stays revealed. And then during the end phase of the turn the card was activated, it gets shuffled back into the deck, which I don't know if it's your deck or if it's the opponent's, and then you're able to draw a card. So that's actually kind of cracked, kind of crazy. But I never would have imagined that a card like this would ever be ever be legal. Never would have guessed. But honestly, all these new free Asian cards are kind of cracked. They're absolutely insane. Now I'm not really sure what to expect when the set gets released, but it's going to be very interesting to say the very least. But for all intended purposes, the new Kaiba Man is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Especially with all the new Blue Eyes shit that we got in the structure deck. What, 2 months ago? Like 2-3 months ago? I have a feeling that Blue Eyes is definitely going to be the meta. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.